All right, graphing sine and cosine. We're going to start by noticing that we need to factor out b. Since it's 2/3 x, we got to factor that out. So 2/3 factored out plus pi over 6 divided by 2/3. I need to work that out. Divide by 2/3 means times 3/2. That's pi over 4. If you multiplied that back, you'd have 2 pi over 12, which reduces to pi over 6. That makes sense. 5 sine, and then this is all factored out, plus 1. That plus 1 is our vertical shift, which means that is our midline for our graph. The 5 is your amplitude, which means from there we have to go up and down 5. I'm going to have a hard time going up 5 because the graph stops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be like way up here. Going down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down here to the bottom. Plus pi over 4, that means it shifts to the left pi over 4 units. So it's going to begin to the left pi over 4. And we are graphing a positive sign. Positive sign starts in the middle and starts going up. So our first point starts in the middle, pi over 4 starts in the middle, and our next point will be up from there. This 2/3 tells us that is b, and the period is always 2 pi over b. Period equals 2 pi over b over 2/3. So 2 pi times 3/2, the 2's cancel out. You get 3 pi is the period. Now we look at our graph to see how far is 3 pi. 3 pi, we can't count all the way out to 3 pi, but we can look and see that pi is 1, 2, 3, 4 units for pi. So that means 3 pi would be 4 times 3 is going to be 12 units. On this graph, because our scale, that's what it's marked out as. And then in sine and cosine, whatever we're graphing, there's always 4 quadrants. So we're going to divide by 4, which means every 3 units, there will be a point that we graph. It's 3 units between dots. 3 units for a quadrant. 3 units between dots that we point. Points that we plot. So our first one's right here. Our next one is positive sign, so it's going up. So our next one's going to be 3 units, 1, 2, 3, and it's going to be up at the top. 1, 2, 3 units up at the top. Then we're going to go 3 more units, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to be back at the middle. We're going to go 3 more units, and we'll be down at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, now we're down at the bottom. If we work it to the left, we'd go 1, 2, 3 units. And we'd be down at the bottom again. 1, 2, 3 units, and we'd be back at the middle. Our next point will be 3 more units, we'd be back up at the top. So it'd be like over here somewhere, we'd be at the top. So our graph just needs to connect those. So from here, just connect the points we drew. It'll be heading towards that other one, kind of like that. There's our graph.